What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second segment, ShakeBack Sports Show, Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Jr. Hold it down, man. Rolling solo to the dopest engineer on the globe. Big day. What is happening, sports fans all over the globe? You already know what time it is, man. Just in case you missed it in the first segment, we did talk about the first few picks of the NFL draft. We're gonna get to some more NFL draft here in just a second. I got to talk about my Raiders. But I got to go off, man. I got to go off. Before I actually do that, though, this second segment, it is being brought to you by the Big Game Christian Sports Network. That's right. Alexa tag is start BGC Sports Network. It's BGC Sports Network and BGC Sports Network 2. Follow the BGC Sports Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Twitter at BGCSN1 and BGCSN2. Also, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell. Also, same thing for the ShakeBack Media Group, man. And you will get all of the content from your boys and your girls right here at the Big Game Christian Sports Network. All right, man. So, yeah, I got a couple things I need to get off my chest before we actually get back to the NFL and the draft and the Las Vegas Raiders, and then before we get on to the NBA. This has been a bit of a tumultuous last couple weeks, man, across the country. Right here in Dallas, even right here in this very own household. But this is the thing, man. We are fighting against things that we can't see. And what I mean by that, of course, is it's a spiritual battle. And I personally have been victimized to myself, by myself, for myself, and to myself when I'm trying to fight these battles. Oh, by the way, thank you guys out there for checking us out on YouTube Live as well as Twitter, and the ShakeBack Sports Show all new Roku TV channel. Appreciate you guys, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button there. But anyway, so yeah, this has been a bit of a tumultuous last couple of weeks, and there's one thing that I want to go off on about on a personal level, and for everybody that's here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, particularly in the East Dallas area, we call it East Dino over there by Fair Park. You already know what it is. Last December, my wife Patrice, and I were taking Blaze, our son, around different places to find a car, right? And we wanted to get him to get a car that he could pay cash for because he had his own money or whatnot. But we wanted to make sure that we were getting the best car possible for the money. And we did that, or so we thought. I mean, the car is actually in great shape. Don't get me wrong. He's been driving it since December. He hadn't had any issues with it. He did actually run over a pothole. I'm putting his business in the street. I don't think he'll like that too much, but don't tell him. But anyway, so, when you buy a car from a dealership, you pay the tax, title, and license and the cash. Well, we did that, or shall I say he did that, December 26th. Ladies and gentlemen, they give you a 30-day paper plate that will tide you over until your regular plates come in. This dude's regular plates has not come in yet. And I have called this dealership. My wife has called this dealership. I don't know how many times. They would not return our calls. I've gone up there once, twice with Patrice, and then a third time on Friday by myself. And you know what? I went off and I told this dude that I'm going to go off on your company and your brand. Now, mind you, when we first bought this car, I keep saying when Blaze first bought this car, right? We were actually trying to do business with these people. I mean, they're black owned, we're black owned. So we want to throw some support at each other, right? We want to throw some support at him and help support or promote his brand on all of our channels, YouTube, Roku, iTunes, whatever the case may be, even on the BGC Sports Network. We wanted to work with them to try to get them some additional business. But since they never returned our calls, since they act like they actually act like they're the victim, I was like, yo, we done, dude. We're done. And the name of this company, the SBG Unlimited LLC, they are right there on Haskell, I think it is, in Dallas. The owner, the wife's name is Dolores Morgan. I can't even think of what the dude's name is because I was that heated at him on Friday. Okay. do not do business. They're at 1653 South Haskell Avenue in Dallas, Texas. Do not, I repeat, do not do business with these people. If you don't want to have to face issues like we're facing, and I told him when I was up there on Friday, I'm going on the air today and I am going to blow you up. And he had the nerve to tell me, do what you got to do. Well, I'm doing it. So anybody that's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I don't care. If you know him, I don't care. If you don't know him, don't get to know him. Because we were going to do business with these guys, try to promote their brand. That's out the window. I trust you. And I had to file a complaint, a dealer complaint with the state of Texas, just so this dude could get his tags. Now, we're 6 months away. We're 6 months out almost from when he bought the car. And he still is riding with paper plates. They gave me another one today. 1653 South Haskell Avenue, Dallas, Texas. Keep on going by there if you happen to be in the area, or if you're looking for a, now the car is good, like I said, reliable. He's had no issues with it. But in terms of their business prowess, yeah, they don't really have too much of that. And the name of their company, SBG Unlimited, the acronym is Saved by Grace. I ain't no judge. I'm not a jury. I'm not an executioner, but I am a fruit checker. And okay, that's all I got to say about that. The second thing is, so we're in, look, the times that we're in right now are just, there are some very perilous times. And you can just look around at the evidence and see what's going on. We are definitely living in the last days. And I know the generation before us, the baby boomers, might say, well, we've been saying that since we were y'all's age. But here's the thing. A day might be an hour, or what does the Bible say? An hour might be a year, or a year might be an hour, something to that effect. I can't think of the scripture off the top of my head, but you guys know what I'm getting at. So this whole Roe versus Wade thing. Now, abortion is not what I'm talking about. Yes, that is the case that set the precedent for a national law across the landscape of this country when it comes to abortions and women's rights to either get one or not get one. I'm not here to talk about whether you think or I think abortion is right or wrong. I'm not here to discuss that. What I am here to talk about is this, is that these things have become so politicized, and you have one side of the aisle saying this, and you have one side of the aisle saying that, and then when you talk about a person's choice to do or not to do something, how can that be politicized? Why is that being politicized? Who actually wrote the playbook on whether a person should or should not have the right to do or not to do with whatever it is they want to do with their own body? Now, here's my question. Everybody out there, whether you're a supporter of Roe v. versus Wade or not, I'm not here to say whether I am or whether I'm not. But the playbook, ladies and gentlemen, the playbook, my brothers and sisters, that of any shade of color, whether you're my shade, lighter or darker, the playbook, ladies and gentlemen, is written, and it has about 66 books in it. And it starts in Genesis and it ends in Revelations. That's the playbook. Now, politically speaking, you have one side of the aisle saying is this, and one side of the aisle that's saying that. Well, what does God say? What does God say? Not what you interpret what God says. What does he say about it? But then you can't, if you're on the side of the aisle that says, okay, it's wrong and we got to protect the fetus and all this and all that. Okay. But we want to tell you when you can and can't do this. Or if you're on the other side of the aisle that's saying, hey, this is my body, this is my choice. This is where I'm at with this. How is it that these healthcare issues, these health and safety protocols, these mandates, these cases, these things, whatever that's going on in Washington, D.C., well, wasn't it the same people or the same, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can hit me on Twitter at ShakeBack Media Group, please. Wasn't it the one side of the aisle that's saying that they're essentially trying to take the rights of women away from them because it's their body and it's their choice and it's their right. Wasn't it that same people on that aisle saying that you cannot order us to wear a mask because it's our choice? Aren't they the same? Aren't those people on the same aisle that were saying that? So my question is this, and this is where I wanted to get to with this. How in the world is it that you can mandate or you can say it's not your choice on one hand, but on the other hand, oh, it's our choice, or you're taking our choice or our right away from us? I don't understand that rationale. And if you want to say, well, we're protecting the unborn kid, I'm not talking about the unborn kid. I'm talking about the ability to make a choice and the taking away of that choice by people that will never see us face to face and shake our hand. Those people that are doing that, to me, it is hypocritical. And then here's another thing too, because of those people that are on that side of the aisle are quote unquote staunch Christian believers. Okay, the God that I know, the God that I serve, the Jesus that saved my life tells me that I have freedom of choice. I have free will. So if you are on that side of the aisle and you're saying that you believe in the same Jesus I believe in, how in the world are you going to try to make somebody do or not do something? That's not your call. That is not your call. So again, I'm not here to say whether abortion is right or wrong. I'm not even here to say whether I agree with abortion or not. That ain't what this is about. But what I am pissed off about is people taking rights and choices away from other people. But then when it's something that is good for the entire community, oh, we got our rights. Really? Really? That's all I got to say about that, man. I had to do that, and there's going to be more of this coming up because we're getting back to Kick the Narrative. The network is getting back to Kick the Narrative with your boy Willie Epstein Jr. as the lead host. I think the next one will be June 11th. I want to say. But stay tuned because we'll be making announcements and it'll be all over social media when it comes to that. I'll be inviting some people that want to come on and talk some real talk about the things like this that are going on without attempting to sway the opinion or make somebody believe other than what they believe. That ain't what we're about. We're talking about things like the ability to choose. That's what we're talking about. Okay, back to the NFL draft. We're going to get to the NBA playoffs in the third segment. And I feel like my voice is trying to leave again because I'm very passionate about choices and all those things. But, you know, that we'll talk about that at another time. NBA playoffs. First of all, let's start off talking about the Los Angeles Lakers because I know even though they're not in the playoffs and they're not really a story, they're my favorite team and I can talk about them right now if I want to. But I want to ask you guys a question out there that may be out there watching and ultimately will be listening to this. Should the Los Angeles Lakers really consider trading LeBron James? Should they really consider trading LeBron James? You know what? Now that I've had a chance to think about it, it may not be that bad of an option. I'm going to tell you why. You have LeBron James at 37 years old, who's still playing like he was 27. Would have been mentioned in the MVP conversation had not been for the pathetic record and play of the rest of the Laker team. And then, of course, there were injuries. We're not gonna make excuses, or I'm not gonna make excuses for injuries because they happen to everybody. But you have 5 Hall of Famers on that team. LeBron, future Hall of Famers: LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, and Rajon Rondo was there at one point. Well, we don't. Dwight Howard might be borderline, but I think he's going to get in. But be that as it may, the Lakers with LeBron James are not going anywhere this year. And it's not because of LeBron James. It's because of Russell Westbrook in that $47 million contract that he is going to get when he opts in. Notice I said when and not if, because if he opts out of that contract, he is a moron because he is not going to get that anywhere else. He might get a slate. No, I'm not gonna say that. But he is not gonna get $47 million anywhere. So he ain't going nowhere. And the Lakers are not going to be able to trade him. Anthony Davis, he is younger than LeBron. He's younger than Russell Westbrook. And he may still even be closer to his prime than those other two. But you can't count on that dude. So you can't really trade. You can trade him, but you're not going to get back. We're not going to get back what we think we should get for him because he's never on the freaking court. And then that leaves Anthony Davis himself or LeBron James. I'm sorry, LeBron James. You can trade LeBron James and get a haul back. You can. You can. Now, that's why it is at a point in time you would never have a discussion about is LeBron James going to be traded. Now, I'm sure he has a no trade clause with the Lakers. So, and he loves LA. He loves LA for a lot of reasons other than playing basketball. They got the championship 2 years ago. Last year was an abysmal season due to injuries. This year was even worse than last year. So the Lakers, the first year with LeBron, didn't make the playoffs. The second year, won the championship. Third year, got put out in the first round. Fourth year, did not make the playoffs. This is the Los Angeles Lakers we're talking about. So I'm like, yo, get rid of him. Trade him. See what you can get for him. Because Anthony Davis, you can trade him, but you're going to get – it's like selling assets at a loss just to have some cash flow. That doesn't work when you're trying to put together a basketball team to compete for a championship. That's my thing about that. And then, how about the Philadelphia 76ers and James Harden? You know, James Harden is my favorite player. Psych. Y'all know me out there when I was with the In the Zone Sports Show and how I got an opportunity to interview James Harden after a game here in Dallas, and he kind of just treated me like I was a scrub. So anything that happens to that guy, not personally related, but anything that happens on the basketball court in which that dude is failing, I am rooting for that reason. Notice I said on the basketball floor, not anything in his personal life. I don't know him personally, but I have had a chance to talk to him. And the one time I did, no, I don't care if he never makes a shot again. I don't care if the Philadelphia 76ers get swept by the Miami Heat. And it's looking like it's going to go that way, especially if Joel Embiid cannot come back. But James Harden is in the Sixers are in the same boat nearly as the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes to Russell Westbrook. Ironically, they were teammates together in Oklahoma City and teammates together in Houston. And here, both of these two franchises now are being handcuffed by these two-time former teammates. All right, I'm running out of time here in the second segment, man. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook Live. On YouTube Live as well as Twitter and our all-new Roku channel. Come on back inside the break. We're going to finish this up. Willie Epstein Jr., ShakeBack Sports Show. Y'all coming back and holler at us.